Hi United fans, stay tuned because the latest developments surrounding Manchester United could have a huge impact on Michael Carrick's plans for the upcoming season. Let's begin with Marcus Rashford, because his future remains one of the biggest talking points surrounding Manchester United. According to reports, Bayern Munich have made inquiries over the England international during the last 2 weeks as they attempt to understand his current situation. After Barcelona decided not to activate their €30 million option, Rashford's future has once again become one of the major stories of the summer transfer window. The big question now is simple: what happens next? Many United supporters believed Barcelona would eventually make the move permanent, but that has not happened. Instead, Rashford now finds himself standing at a crossroads. Does he return to Carrington for pre-season and fight for his place under Michael Carrick? Or does he decide that a fresh challenge abroad is the best solution for his career? Bayern Munich represents one of the biggest clubs in world football. The Bundesliga giants consistently compete for league titles and Champions League honours. For any player, that is a tempting opportunity. However, there are still major obstacles. Rashford's wages remain substantial, and Bayern are known to be careful when it comes to salary structures. Would Rashford be willing to take a reduction in wages to secure a move to Germany? That is the question many football fans are now asking. From a footballing perspective, Bayern could offer him a new environment and a fresh start away from the intense scrutiny that has followed him at Old Trafford. Yet there will always be a section of United supporters who believe Rashford still has unfinished business at Manchester United. What do you think, Reds? Should Rashford stay and fight for his place, or should he accept a new challenge abroad? Meanwhile, another fascinating story involves Newcastle United defender Lewis Hall. Fabrizio Romano reports that Manchester United genuinely admire the young Englishman and remain in active contact with people close to the player. This is a very interesting development because Hall possesses many of the qualities modern football demands. He is energetic, technically gifted, comfortable in possession, aggressive in defensive situations, and capable of contributing in the final third. When you look at Carrick's football philosophy, Lewis Hall appears to be a player who fits naturally into that structure. He is comfortable building from the back, can carry the ball forward, and has the athletic profile needed to succeed in the Premier League. The biggest challenge, however, is Newcastle's position. The Magpies view Hall as an important part of their future, and convincing them to sell will not be easy. But if United genuinely push for the player, this could become one of the most intriguing transfer battles of the summer. Imagine Lewis Hall attacking down the flank in front of a packed Stretford end. Unbelievable, but true, this is a transfer link that makes a lot of footballing sense. The striker situation is equally interesting. Reports suggest Manchester United want an experienced backup option behind Benjamin Sesko, but Robert Lewandowski is not considered a realistic solution. At first glance, some fans may be surprised because Lewandowski remains one of the most prolific goal scorers in world football, despite being 37 years old. His numbers last season were still extremely impressive, yet football is about much more than statistics. United are reportedly concerned about the overall fit. Lewandowski would likely command enormous wages and would naturally expect to be a regular starter. Carrick is believed to be building a squad based on collective effort, tactical flexibility, and long-term planning. Bringing in a superstar striker who expects guaranteed minutes could potentially disrupt that balance. Personally, I understand the club's thinking. The ideal backup striker should be hungry, professional, and fully prepared to support the first choice forward without creating unnecessary complications. Modern squads require harmony and competition, not hierarchy based purely on reputation. Another name attracting attention is Elliot Anderson. Manchester United's admiration for the midfielder has been known for quite some time. Anderson possesses the energy, intensity, and technical quality that many supporters believe the midfield still requires. However, according to reports, United are refusing to enter a bidding war. This is a very important sign of how the club is operating under the current structure. For too many years, Manchester United were criticised for overpaying in the transfer market. Now there appears to be a stronger focus on value and sustainability. The club likes Anderson, but not at any cost. In many ways, this is exactly the kind of discipline supporters have been demanding. For too many years, Manchester United were criticised for overpaying in the transfer market. Now there appears to be a stronger focus on value and sustainability. The club likes Anderson, but not at any cost. In many ways, this is exactly the kind of discipline supporters have been demanding. It demonstrates that Manchester United are identifying targets while also maintaining financial responsibility. Do you agree with that approach? Or should United push harder to secure one of their top targets regardless of the fee involved? Instead, attention may turn towards alternatives such as Matheus Fernandes and Alex Scott. Both players are viewed as talented young midfielders with significant potential. Fernandes offers technical quality and creativity, while Alex Scott continues to impress with his maturity and versatility. These are the types of players capable of growing into important figures at Old Trafford over the coming years. Rather than spending enormous sums on established stars, United appear increasingly focused on securing players who can develop within Carrick's system. Then we have one of the most fascinating stories of the week involving Joshua Zirkzee and Rafael Leao. Reports from Italy suggest AC Milan admire Zirkzee despite his difficult campaign at Manchester United. The suggestion that Milan could explore a deal involving Rafael Leao instantly grabs attention because Leao is one of the most explosive attacking players in European football. Let's be honest, Reds, if there was ever an opportunity to bring Rafael Leao to Old Trafford, many supporters would be extremely excited. His pace is frightening, his dribbling is electric. His ability to change matches in a single moment is exactly the type of quality that can transform an attack. Imagine Leao charging towards defenders under the lights at Old Trafford with the crowd roaring him forward. It is the kind of image that immediately excites football supporters. That said, football transfers are rarely straightforward. Zirkzee remains a player with enormous potential despite an inconsistent season. There is still a feeling among many supporters that he has more to offer than he showed last year. Therefore, any discussion involving a potential swap would require careful consideration. Would you exchange Zirkzee for Rafael Leao if the opportunity became available? That is a debate that could divide the fan base. Finally, another intriguing midfield option has emerged in the form of Tyler Adams. Reports suggest Manchester United's internal analysis rates him highly and that some of his metrics compare favourably to Rodri in certain areas. While comparisons to Rodri should always be treated carefully given the Spaniard's elite level, it is certainly interesting to hear that Adams is performing strongly in several important categories. What makes Adams particularly attractive is his affordability. In a market where prices continue to rise dramatically, identifying players capable of delivering value becomes increasingly important. Adams brings Premier League experience, work rate, leadership qualities, and tactical discipline. He may not be the glamorous signing that dominates headlines, but successful teams are often built upon players who consistently perform their roles effectively. Every title-winning side requires dependable professionals willing to do the hard work. As things stand, Manchester United's transfer strategy appears focused on balance. The club are monitoring elite talents, pursuing young prospects, assessing experienced options, and refusing to be drawn into reckless spending. It is a strategy that many supporters have been calling for over the years. The key now is execution. So, Reds, what do you think? Should Marcus Rashford stay or move to Bayern Munich? Is Lewis Hall the right addition for the future? Would you take Rafael Leao if a deal became possible? Should United push harder for Elliot Anderson or focus on Mateus Fernandes and Alex Scott? And could Tyler Adams become one of the smartest signings of the summer? The summer transfer window is gathering momentum, the rumours are intensifying, and Old Trafford could be preparing for some massive decisions. Stay connected to United updates because the next few weeks could change everything for Manchester United's upcoming season.